Netflix. Scary movies.
Meanwhile, on Vote to Scary Movie 5. Vandy, I need help to make the sequel. These are the rules on how you make a good sequel. Rule number 1, you gotta up the budget. Rule number 2, streamline the writing, faster jokes, faster laughs. Rule number 3, more recitation jokes. Wait, what? So yeah, they got fired after using that stupid title, including Kevin Smith too. Wait, what the hell? Guess they didn't like the page-long seal clubbing scene. The Wayans were also going to make their own sci-fi fantasy spoof at the same time, but I'm glad that never happened. Also kind of weird none of the original writers from the first Scary movie came back.
Bloody diapers.
Including one that wrote their own spiritual successor to Scary Movie, Not Another Teen Movie, which I like but isn't my favorite.
What's your favorite scary movie?
3, bitch! So David Zucker and Pat Frost were hired as director and writer.
At the time, I thought, when Bob Weinstein calls and says he wants you to do a scary movie, I'd rather do that than end up with a horse's head in my bed.
David is most known for Airplane and Naked Gun, and Pat's famous for Police Academy and Hot Shots, and Wrongfully Accused. That's the good shit, man. We also got Craig Mazin too, famous for Rocketman and The Last of Us. I'll talk about him in a different video. So instead of doing whatever the hell this was, they instead went to the science spoof the Wayans were gonna do, which isn't the best idea, but it's better than the low-budget Lord of the Rings spoof, Lord of the Ringu. Also, random lore about me, I remember seeing a poster of this naked lady running away from a blue alien at the movie theater. It stuck out for me for years and I kept looking for it. Was it evolution? No. But ugly motions? Close but no cigar. Lo and behold, it was just a teaser poster for Scary Movie 3. I'm just imagining someone's having the same experience as me, but it's the Ring boob poster. Speaking of which, thank you lolwutburger for the thumbnail, you're a great guy.
True trilogies are all about going back to the beginning and discovering something that wasn't true from the get-go.
Normally, the third part of a trilogy would avoid Sequelitis and do its own thing, but sadly, this movie doesn't really follow it. 3 does feel like Sequelitis.
Now is the place to be.
This shit is banging.
I'm glad the Wayans are back with the series now, not just Marlon, but Sean and Keenan too. I think Zucker and Prof did a good job with 3, but they sort of gentrified the series over time into what most people think parody movies are, full of random celebrity cameos, a nonsense plot, and outdated spoofs.
I take it black. Like my
Favorite scary movie.
But as a transitional piece with a touch of Wayans, is this mess any good? I'm gonna get you, Zuckers. Let's begin.
Parkour, nigga!
So the movie opens up with the Harvey mandate. I'm glad you're dead, motherfucker. Like Scary Movie 1, it's used to establish the main spoof, Ringu, and also steals jokes from its Pat.
I wish I had your
shaved pussy. Nobody's getting Snowball.
I love to stroke your pussy, cat.
I know. Muffy likes it too.
The opening's alright, it emulates the tone of Scary Movie 2, but I hate how it's just bimbos bimboing about, like Scream 4. I feel like I'm watching a porn parody instead of a Zaz parody.
I'm coming for you, my precious.
Hi, Mom.
Wait, I thought it was in the good timeline. Get me out, get me out, get me out! Like, if this was just a goalie pop version of Ringu with characters from Clueless, I would probably like this more. They die, by the way. No shit. I love you, Katie! So the movie really opens up with George and Tom. They're brothers.
We're brothers.
And they find a crop circle after drinking some Frankie Sinatra. George is a Jesse Pinkman B-Rabbit OC going through his If I Was a Folk Star phase. We can ignore Tom, he isn't funny in this. A hat does a better job than him.
I don't know if there's anybody who made me laugh more than Simon Rex.
You know your teacher, Miss Brenda?
Man, the movie really looks cheap in this compared to 1. We also have Cindy Campbell again, dressed up like Kiryu. She's a reporter now, and while Scary Movie 1 had commentary on journalism, this is just more like babbling. Hey, remember when Scary Movie 1 had some subtlety to it? Or when they combined the Columbine contraband with the controversy of Scream 3? I guess this is what happens when being a part of a post-Scooby-Doo generation of films, when it really needed to be post-Scream.
I'm looking for something more than just good sex. I know, you want commitment.
No, I want great sex.
Wait, are you saying the other times weren't great? Okay, maybe not. Brenda's back too with some character growth. She's a lot less selfish in this and more supportive of Cindy. I really do love this new dynamic and the chemistry between them really pops. I wish they were longer. Hey, how's your brother doing? We had a thing, but for some reason he gets retconned out of existence. So this is like a soft reboot of the franchise, no mention of the Wayans movies. Hell, even 2 mentioned Bobby.
I didn't do it by myself. Whitney and Bobby helped me.
And for some reason, Cindy is still Cindy Campbell, even though this is far after Scream. I hope the Wayans got paid for that. Let's just say the Green Dolphin Gang or the fucking Rugrats restarted the universe. It's fine. Despite the same face, Sydney kind of regressed a bit during the transfer. She's not really the unhinged take of a final girl anymore, she's more of a school teacher that happened to be in a wacky situation. She's a lot like Julie Haggerty from Airplane, I'm not crazy, right?
I'm sorry I had to wake you, I'm just looking for a doctor, there's nothing to worry about.
No, I'm telling you, I sensed something about that cornfield.
I don't mind the change, but after watching the Wayans movies so many times, I do kind of prefer the cartoony Cindy. It really gives a Who Framed Last Summer vibe to it. Podcaster VA and God's Strongest Strange Wilderness enjoyer Chelsea Rebecca once said, Sydney is one of the few gross-out female characters in a comedy, and I think that's interesting. The way in Sydney was like a personification of their hate towards the then modern final girl trope and gave her characteristics that would be way more fitting for a slasher villain. Meanwhile, Zucker Sydney is more like the straight man in a situation, but that's still kind of funny.
Here, I just...
That's mostly due to Anna Faris being a great actress. I bet she would have even killed it with the Seltzerberg script.
She does all the takes, and she makes it better than what's written on the page.
George gets tired of the main plot too and barely acknowledges Brenda. Their asses are not in the same room. Wait, why is Brenda the school teacher or not Sydney in this timeline?
Now who the fuck did that?
We also get Cindy's nephew, godson.
Oh, her mother's brother.
His name's Cody. It's basically just Big Daddy. Plus he's a Sixth Sense spoof, because instead of doing Kevin Williamson movies, we're doing M. Night Shyamalan movies. But don't worry, I'm not gonna go crazy, mostly because it doesn't stick the same landing.
From now on, I'm gonna be thinking about you 24/7. Damn!
Child abuse funny. One of the few things High Anxiety got right, that it was able to parodies a director's entire career, their cliches and everything in between. Then Scary Movie 3 picks like half of M. Night Shyamalan's movies and just half-asses it. Also, Scary Movie 1 already did a Sixth Sense spoof, so it's kind of playing with anger here. Sure, let's have imaginary beef with M. Night. He risked his own career for a fairy tale on one.
This is like a moment from a horror movie. It's precisely the moment where the mutation or beast will attempt to kill an unlikable side character.
Actually, I think it might be because Harvey had beef with M. Night over Wide Awake for Miramax, which, no, isn't an Insomniac thriller you slept on. It's a non-school kids movie with, horny kids, what the fuck? Harvey deserved to die after this. Motherfucking Fun Size 2. Speaking of which, my dumbass always thought the priest was really into Sydney when I was a kid. What's up with this series and dirty priests?
Again, you know, the pedophile priest jokes, enough with those, too.
I think so.
My 8-year-old brain was blocking a lot of stuff from this trilogy, mostly the Sean stuff. Speaking of Sean, we also have the bootleg Wayans here too, Kangaroo Jack and Koala John. The whole shtick is this weird stoner conversation thing.
How the hell do you wake up dead?
Because you're alive when you go to sleep.
So you telling me that you can go to bed dead and wake up alive?
Their spit can make you sleep, but not die.
It's fine, I guess, but I wish it delved more into criticizing the dumb horror movie rules. Like, what if I say Candyman 4 times and then a week later I say it again? This is some Men's-Eye shit. Actually, never mind, Harvey would have turned Candyman into a gangster boogeyman or something. I love Brenda's hat in this, it's so cute.
Something bad is heading my way, like when you see an Asian person behind the wheel of a car.
Oh no, foreshadowing. Anyway, the two stooges here are pointless. They just hang out with George and do nothing else. I'm positive Zucker heard the name Shorty from the other movies and was like, height jokes, got it. Don't get me wrong, I really do love some of these jokes where they feel more Naked Gun than Scary Movie. Unlike 1 and 2, I feel like the cast in this really don't have their time to shine. I feel like they're only here to fill up a movie poster. Oh, you know what, who's this tomboy in the front? She's gonna get it on. Holy shit, it's Joe Nasty! Now for the big L of the movie where it takes shots at 8 Mile, a popular movie at the time. This really doesn't fit into Scary Movie, plus Eminem was on the soundtrack to one of them. Is it because he's from Detroit and we gotta repeat the fistful of yen joke? Hey yo, don't fuck with Detroit, 2 great Jameses came from there. This movie also shows its showy cracks and the limitations it has without the Wayans. The 2 biggest issues with Zucker and Scary Movie would be the cameos, and it's just white people trying to be like the Wayans.
Oh, stewardess, I speak jive.
Oh, good.
Scary Movie 3 is from the far side of what a Zucker-style comedy should be like when compared to Top Secret old Kentucky Fried Movie. It's like Hot Shots, where Scary Movie 3 tends to focus more on the cameos.
I loved you in Wall Street!
The Wayans did have cameos too, but it had more depth than just showing Mos Def. Like, Coach Klein was in Scream, so it made sense for his Happy Day co-star to be in the parody. Like, what's the joke with Ja Rule being in the grassy knolls? It would probably make more sense if Eric B. was president.
He was great. Ja Rule was wonderful.
A pleasant surprise. How
really like
comedy chops.
We should bring him back.
Yes.
Also, if we get Streamos and Doofy fucking Noomy in Scary Movie 6, I'm losing my goddamn mind.
Judge Cameo preside.
Who speaks for the defense?
We get Simon Cowell in this too because, I don't know, Scooby-Doo shit and American Idol. I'm not a Bling era guy, but besides Fat Joe, I don't know who the fuck anyone is. Who's gonna walk through the door next, Parappa the Rapper? How about using more rappers that are more common in the acting field like Nas or DMX? Oh wait, there's some pretty bad belly flops. I'll allow Wu-Tang because it's fucking Wu-Tang. I would also allow Children of the Corn too because that makes more sense.
Everybody wants to get involved in everyone else's problems.
Exactly. No
drama with a comma.
For comedy, I think this would make more sense if you had someone like De La Soul, Mr. Love Goggles, or JD. Or even ones that were in scary movies like Busta Rhymes. Yeah, like true gangsters, I guess they only pick the ones with mass appeal. I just realized most of these cameos aren't even like funny at all. I guess Zucker never saw the Cannibal Cannabis classic How High.
And only in a movie like Scary Movie 3 could you cross these worlds.
I think the real reason why they were doing this is because they want the core audience from 1 and 2 back for 3.
I'm white, and I'm capitalizing on a trend that's currently rising. Mix it with Curly and Larry and Moe. Hey, yo!
Wait, where was I? Oh yeah, the second topic, yeah.
I'll see you later. Bye! Yo, what's up, B? How you feeling? What's going on, yo? Let's bounce, son.
So like Cynthia the Doll, Zucker tried imitating black culture. I don't find it a coincidence that a mostly black-written and directed franchise just so happens to be full of random cameos the moment they left. Are you telling me rappers so happened to cameo like that? No, he orchestrated it. Harvey! The Wayans scary movies were closer to Harlem than Melrose Place in terms of the commentary and vibe. Now it's turning into Malibu with this Most Wanted shit as a selling point. His ass ain't Bobby Caldwell. Bobby Hoboken? Maybe. It's like they watched the first 30 seconds of Hip Hop Hooray and were like, yeah, I think this is how we can get the black audience back with that hippity hop stuff. Yaha. Y'all representing the fake hip hop. Like, I doubt these old white people were writing the script and were like, we need Wu-Tang, it's for the children. Where's the queen? Dollar bills, y'all. Like, I think one had a better Wu-Tang reference with the Ghostface Killer. At least Redman watched the Kentucky Fried Movie, though.
Yeah, matter of fact, he did that damn Kentucky Fried Movie. He's the bomb for that shit.
The OG! You know what, this movie is a lot like 8 Mile, where you have the white man trying to get into the hip-hop, and maybe it's an allegory for... You know what? No, that's stupid.
Manipulated the freedom of the black man for his own political career. Free brother!
You know, I know this is a lot coming from me. Double Toasted and Frim were a lot of my influences, but there's a difference between taking those influences and doing your own thing and then just trying to be black.
Wasn't really familiar with a lot of them.
You know, I've never done a Negro movie before.
Right.
So
this isn't as in your face as the sequel, but it's still weird after watching the Wayans movies. Like, this was just a sign for most people. At least it's not as disrespectful as Fun Size.
Yo, that jacket is tight, son.
Yummy.
Speaking of whitewashed African-American icons and cameos, Michael Jackson's in this. Well, not actually Michael Jackson, but a pretty good impressionist. His inclusion in here was kind of weird, and I don't blame people that think that the Epic Movie people wrote this. Michael Jackson's in the bulk printer one, but I literally don't see it. The whitewashing extends to the Ring elements too, with the Japanese elements being gone, which is still problematic, but compared to the sequel, it could be worse.
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa. 前にもあったわね。ここに住んでるの？
住んでちゃ悪いかの丸焼き食いたいな。
Also, for my fellow dubheads, sadly none of the Japanese VAs for 3 and 4 have any connection to the Grudge or Ringu. But for some reason, Shawn Wayne's VA is Nick Wilde in the Japanese dub of Zootopia. That's something, right?
Alright, you wait right there, and I'll be right back, okay?
Even though I'm helping a lot of issues here, it's still mild compared to the sequel. I would say the movie's at its best when it's not being a Wayne's ad-lib. The movie's weak or satirical and plot-wise, but I still find it funny. Like, Scary Movie 1 is kind of hard to recommend, and 3 is kind of a crowd pleaser, depending on the cut. Like, 1's a lot more subtle, where Scary Movie 3 is more like dumb fun. Scary Movie 1 was lightning in a bottle in terms of its humor, satire, and deep cuts. And I'm glad Scary Movie 3 tries being its own thing instead of chasing the wind. Plus, I see Scary Movie 3 as more of a follow-up to Naked Gun instead of a Wayne's continuation. Like, most of my negativity is coming from me watching Scary Movie 1 and 2 a lot, and not seeing Scary Movie 3 as its own thing, or seeing it more like a successor from Airplane to Naked Gun, where it trades its subtle, highbrow jokes for more dumb, but still fun jokes.
Hey, I hear if you pause it just right, you can see Leslie Nielsen's penis.
Plus, if this movie wasn't funny and it was just David Zucker being like, see, it was all my ideas, I'm the genius here, then yeah, I would probably rip it a new one.
Yes, you did. Go get my heroin and my hypodermic needle, bitch.
I can kind of forgive the first act because they mostly ditch the 8 Mile shit after this scene, plus it has a fun payoff at the end. And I just love George, man. He's just like a Mary Steve to Sydney, but for this film it works. It's really rare for a comedy where the main character is funny by themselves, the love interest is funny by themselves, and when put together it's like the best shit ever. Simon Rex is a great addition to the series, and he's like one of the best parts of the movie.
So I remember doing scenes with her, and I would just crack up, like in the middle of the take, because she'd just give me this look, and I'd just die.
Simon's great. When he plays George, he's so sincere and sweet, and his eyes get so wide, and he's kind of like...
He's a really good mix between Ghostface from the first movie and the Naked Gun direction the series was going into. Plus, with his screaming scenes, he really reminds me of Cindy from the Wayans movies.
Died a horrible, painful death! Gone!
No, you got the wrong guy.
No!
Yep, it's not Bobby.
Not to downplay Anna Faris, she did a great job carrying the movie, and I'm glad these movies do focus on her a lot more. My criticism's still valid, and I'm not excusing the racism from this movie, it's very light now compared to what the sequel is like.
Then we nuked them. That's what they turned into a real country.
Alright, back to the movie. So we got this scene between Sydney and Brenda, where it's a good mix of Zaz's humor and Wayne's writing. And it copies a few cutscenes from Scary Movie 2. It's very nice for David to not have an original idea for the movie. Anyway, the main villain shows up. Sadako, or her localized name, Tabitha? Oh, come on, not even a Sadie? So Tabby, it's like I'm talking to a cat. Tabby! Anyway, Tabby jumps out of the TV screen and Brenda barely moves. So Brenda is deader with only a TV tape as evidence, and Cindy goes to Hellworld to find more information of the tape. Hell sequel, I don't know. Cindy also watches the tape and gets a warning about 7 days. I love my favorite Martian. Also, this shotgun goes hard, what the fuck?
Jesus Christ, lady, I'm giving you 7 friggin' days. I can come over there now and kill the shit out of you if you'd rather have that.
Huh, black and white killer that's obsessed with tapes and talks on a phone. Where did that come from? Don't worry, it's not a complete retread of Ghostface, but I'm still mixed on Tabby. Like, I'm glad they did their best to change it up. You can't deny Ghostface was the face of the Wayne Scary movies. He was kind of the main character for Scary Movie 1 if you really think about it. It was smart to put her in a few scenes to avoid a direct comparison. The thing I hate is that she's more of a retread of the ghost from Scary Movie 2. Yes, she's a ghost in Ringu, but David Zucker didn't really give a shit about the source material, let's be honest here. I wouldn't mind if they did more creative stuff with her, like make her a demon or a computer virus. They fucked up Billy in the sequel, so I can dream. Maybe she could have been an alien. Shit, those were demons too.
Oh, the silicon. All the good it could be doing.
Yes.
Similar to a good slasher, after the first kill, the plot really speeds up. I'm glad Cindy's the main protagonist in this, where she fights all these different things. She's kind of like a modern Van Helsing. So we're entering the Matrix spoofs of the movie, which I'm fine with because most of the scenes are just for narrative or plot reasons. It's not like the movie's gonna end with a big Matrix fight again. Although, I do wish Eddie Griffin was in a Wayne Scary movie as a legit character. He's pretty funny with how little screen time he has.
Try being married to her. I care shit about women I ain't slept with yet.
We also find out the tape is powered by a
Forsaken child?
Damn, Cindy's apartment really reminds me of the one from Final Destination 2.
Cody and I were playing a fun game, and then I looked down and...
Also, George fucks up and gives Cody the Ving disease. The phone guys know Dave Sheridan, and he's like Bentley from Sly Cooper.
I'm calling for Reader's Digest with a fantastic offer for Cody.
Now Cindy has a big reason to stop the tape, except she would still die first, and using the tape to raise tension is kinda stupid. Which, yes, was a plot point in Ring and Ringu, but again, I don't think a parody should copy all the beats to raise tension if it doesn't make sense in the parody. The course isn't exchangeable between people like the actual movies. Like, the relationship right from the start doesn't really mean anything. If the relationship was more Bubble Boy or Waddle Boy, where Cindy is comedically overprotective, that would make more sense and still have humor to it. Also, having the Grudge tape be a weird Adult Swim bumper would be funny too. It's fine, I guess. They do handle the sign elements better with the dead wife flashback. Man, this scene's really like the best looking part of the movie. It really comes close to Keenan Ivory style for Scary Movie 1. We also get fake M. Night in this movie, and I do like his dry performance.
Tom, I'll need a ride home.
He definitely should have been in the sequel. We were also at the funeral scene, which is a high point of the movie.
Now this is a scene that people seem to either love or hate.
The scene always creeped me out as a kid, even though it's a simple effect. I'm not too crazy about this joke.
You're getting laid tonight. He doesn't know you're a guy.
I'm glad Pat never walked in The Last of Us. Pack it up, Skittle Squad! I think this scene's a good vertical slice of the movie. We got Cindy looking like her son got a D on a math test, some Police Academy-ass jokes, and Simon Rex just acting his heart out.
Can't believe they just leave it out here like this.
George, it's awake.
Awake? Brenda! She's not breathing. That's it! It's the last time I try to bring anyone back from the dead.
I do love how George is just honest with depression. Oh shit, we have the Colbert Report now. Anyway, Cindy gets fired from her job. It's fine, don't worry about it, the subplot was ass.
Know what I'm saying, nigga? Nigga.
Huh, 50 minutes in and now we have Leslie Nielsen. I always thought he was earlier in the movie.
Now, we had him in the movie a lot at one time, right? I mean, he was like...
There was more Leslie.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
we had written more.
So, besides being post-Wayans, this is also post-9/11, and we get some Bush jokes with it.
Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you? Well,
I do like Leslie Nielsen in this, mostly because he isn't Bush in living color, but more of a spitting image of Reagan. He's like a fusion president, which is less uncanny and timeless.
I wonder what President Ford would have done. Well, the buck stops here.
And in this cut, he isn't completely senile. I see him like Xavier, where this is just a small side quest for him, and is beyond our reality. Besides Leslie, we get George Carlin in this too.
George Carlin, of course.
And the architect.
Which makes sense because of the Kevin Smith DNA. George Carlin's performance makes up for the Matrix stuff in here too.
My wife and I wanted a child, but she couldn't get pregnant. Neither could I.
I wish he was in the sequel too. Also, when I was a kid, I thought Pootie Tang was a weird sex thing.
It's been circulating and killing ever since.
Just like Pootie Tang.
But after watching Pootie Tang, I wasn't completely wrong.
Not the tip it ties, no.
So now the news is going crazy and is showing footage of the aliens. Okay, that's kind of funny. Let's play it again.
Run, bitch! Run!
I'm so glad they redesigned these aliens. They also play the Forsaken Child tape too. for reasons, I guess. I don't understand why they would do that. I feel like it's an unneeded addition to the film. Like, Cindy and Honatsan already watched the tape, and Team Rose didn't watch the tape or mentioned it at all. I feel like it raises the stakes too high for a basic movie plot. It's like if Halloween, Michael Myers just goes, hey, if you don't kill me, they're gonna invade Iraq. I feel like Scary Movie should not have world-ending threats in it.
3.5 times the suspense with additional deleted scenes.
And now for the biggest part of the video, the alternate cuts of Scary Movie 3, which you can find on DVD. Wait, what opinions don't reflect Miramax? Respecting women, consent, and the age of? So unlike the cutscenes from 2 that would make the original movie better and the walk print cut for 1, that cuts down a lot of the audience expectation moments, Scary Movie 3 went through a lot of changes and reshoots. I'll be separating the cut in 3 different versions. 2.9, the original movie before the reshoots. 3, the version I grew up with. And 3.5, which is the more common cut. I'll start with 2.9, which is more than just an alternate ending like 2. It had an entire scrapped storyline. So like the original cut for Scary Movie 1, the 2.9's cutscenes are either interesting or fucking bullshit. Some of the jokes I do find funny, while others not too much.
Is it me? Hello? Hi.
She, mushy mushy, pronto, hola!
Alpha Bravo Tango, do you copy?
You can find these scenes on the DVD and the Blu-ray as well. Oh yeah, there's some more on the Blu-ray too. Which let me check, let me see this clusterfuck of a menu, and yeah, these scenes suck. I don't know if it's a reprint issue or something, because they aren't as raunchy as compared to the regular movie. I can see why the news station wasn't used a lot in the final film. Damn, Silent Hill 2 looks good. I do like how most of the deleted scenes from the Wayans movies are just character moments, like Shorty was going to be really popular, and the cutscenes here are like, yes, the horny priest was very horny.
Patrick, I squirted.
Also, this cut has a lot more focus on the Cindy and George romance, which I do enjoy, but I can see it dragging the movie down.
Oh, this went on forever.
Oh,
this was supposed to be
the big date.
The big date.
Don't you remember? And then they were supposed to like make love on the table of a restaurant.
Outdoor restaurant. Yeah.
Have the meal on them.
Always had the stink of plague about it.
Yeah.
Oh.
This also ties into the alternate ending, which is way different than what we got. The ending begins where the aliens are at the door. Strangely enough, they have the swing away George lines and the we're counting on you line.
Swing away, George. George! Swing away, George.
I'm coming, Cody.
George, I just want to tell you good luck. We're all counting on you. I just want to tell you both good luck. We're all counting on you.
I wish this line made it to the final version.
They're real.
And they're landing.
In the corn. Yeah. Why I bother to plant anything on this farm?
So anyway, we have this if-style subplot where some guy is chasing Cindy throughout the movie, kind of like Agent Smith. But it just turns out Cindy was just crazy and Cody wasn't real. I love how they explain some scenes of that revelation, but how the fuck did it work for George or Brenda? I'm not a fan of it. The ending really tries being a mix of 1 and 2, and it doesn't land. Like, the Doofy ending affects how you rewatch the movie, and you catch on how much of a dick Doofy is. And the ghost ending in 2 makes sense because everyone kinda died. This just feels like lazy writing.
What? What are you all looking at?
President Drebin is more incompetent instead of mysterious in this cut, which sucks because he just does diaper poop jokes.
President craps his pants. This is...
I always laughed at that.
Yeah.
We also get these Scooby-Doo style aliens too with no Tom Kenny. They don't even look funny at all, they're fucking horrifying. Is this supposed to be signs or butt ugly motions? It also kinda explains how the aliens in the posters really don't match up. Man, now I really wish that one of the aliens had a "was up" mask. It's fine though, because George turns into the Hulk and ass rolls some aliens away. Again, I'm surprised it's not done by the Epic Movie people. Also, wait, so this is supposed to be B-Rabbit. And B-Rabbit fought Anthony Mackie. Is this Captain America 4?
You're making me angry.
Also, I love how this wasn't hinted at all in any of the scenes, like the Charlie Angel stuff in 2. They literally just pulled it out of their ass and they thought it was the greatest shit ever.
Although people started to laugh and applaud when this started.
Yeah, no, I think they liked it, but yeah.
But this again also falls under the category of don't make fun of movies people don't like.
Yeah.
There's a lot of concept art for this ending too. Wait, what? What were they cooking? Oh, there's Snoop Dogg too. There's also concept art for a cut joke that's literally from the first movie. Also, I love how they misspelled Ray. Why?
Wasn't really familiar with a lot of them.
We also have a deep dive into the Matrix spoofs with Cindy being the one. I love how they didn't even explain the aliens in this ending, which had a fun callback in the main cut.
Our satellite picked up what we thought was Pootie Tang. That was a week ago.
Kinda ironic that Pootie Tang caused this scene to happen. Were they held at gunpoint to make this ending? Craig, we need a Matrix ending. Why is that in a scary movie, though? I have a leather kink. In all serious, though, most of the spoofs are Harvey mandates, and I do applaud the team for making it as seamless as possible. I think the other scene fits the mysterious vibe of the movie. Also, kinda weird they never tied it to the Sixth Sense kid, or make that the big twist. I'm glad everyone agreed on what I said in part 1.
Our parody has to look at least as good as the movies we are spoofing, otherwise that gets in the way of the humor.
Anyways, after the power of love, evil is defeated.
I should have been the one to fill your dark soul with light!
It basically ends the same with the wedding and the car ride, although we do get a fun callback with fake M. Night. So after they test screen the ending, everyone hated it, rightfully so.
When did we have corn?
There was a casserole in the cafeteria. Damn good.
So they patched the script like Adam and we got the better ending.
The script 4 months ago has virtually no relation to what we actually shot.
Which I'm not exaggerating when I say it makes the movie so much better, and it's probably the same reason why people like Scary Movie.
These men died for their country. Send flowers to their bitches and hoes.
The last 10 minutes have some of the best jokes, the best payoffs, and ends better than Scary Movie 1 or 2. I think it's the most natural ending for this type of movie where it fits the tone of the first and second act. Like, watch the architect scene and tell me which scene makes the most sense.
My wife took her to the old family farm in Drowning. Well, I felt a simple timeout would have been sufficient. Tabitha imprinted her evil on a video tape. Never meant for it to get out.
What does this have to do with aliens?
I don't know. Perhaps Tabitha's summoning them to kill us all.
So yeah, I think 2.9 is the inferior cut of Scary Movie 3. I mean 3.5. Wait, what's the difference? I'll check the DVD first, which is the censored version. The opening scene feels faster because it cuts most of the dirty jokes. Man, watching this on 4x3 on the big screen really feels cozy.
Hey, ask her which bathroom has a vibrating shower head.
Now who the fuck did that?
I see you kneeling in dog shit.
What?
Holy shit, this is unlocking a lot of memories. I thought they were all bleeped out. Did this cause any damage to me as a kid? Okay, you got Tommy, Chucky, cunts, fucking bum, fucking a drug cartel. No. Celebrate a fucking Dutch holiday now. What's the difference between the unrated cut? Wait, 76 seconds? Are you fucking kidding me? Ah, fuck it, I'll play most of the cut jokes.
You want a guy that's gonna hit that thing hard, like bam, 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 and then flip you over and come at you from the other side?
Could you rub this lotion on his little bottom?
And then he'll look at you like he gonna cut you.
If I hadn't raped and mutilated that exact mulatto hitchhiker.
I've been cleaning after this dumbass cracker Giggins for 10 years, but I've been waxing his bitch's ass for 12.
No, I think...
Simon. If I hadn't been caught in that exact motel room with those exact 2 boys.
Simon.
Cody.
If I don't end up on all fours with some anonymous guy, or drink an ass load of Cristal and have to sleep one off in the dumpster behind the Sizzler.
Brenda, you're so romantic.
I guess.
I ride that hoe like your mama rides the bus.
I think they want to eat me.
Did I say stop drawing? Did I say stop drawing?
I do prefer 3 over 3.5. It cuts out most of the longer jokes, especially the It's Pat joke. And it has the same bite as the other movies. It doesn't feel neutered down.
Here's a movie that makes jokes about pedophiles. It has dismemberment, but that's PG-13.
Like, I should talk about the ratings a bit. The Wayans movies were almost gonna be NC-17, but for the Zucker movies, I'm kinda glad they went with a PG-13 rating. Don't let the unrated label trick you. Fucking Maisie was unrated. And for 3, the downgrade kinda works in its favor. It made 3 rely more on classic jokes and more physical comedy without turning it into a complete cartoon made for kids. kids. This movie is more made towards high schoolers than college students, and I think that's a good pace for the series. Like, the Wayans movies were a great encapsulation of that late 90s edgy humor, and I feel like if Zucker tried doing the same thing with 3, it would literally just be like a dumbed down version of 1, and just being edgy for the sake of edgy. Also, digging up the DVD gave me this MCU-ass logo.
Certain rules that one must abide by in order to survive a horror movie.
Stop using the scene if it's not in the DVD! Okay, back to the main ending, we get some good visual jokes in this. I wonder if these jokes inspired Little Man. Also, Canon George has some weird character development in this. Like, yeah, it's supposed to be a joke in the next scene, but it's kinda serious.
Family. That's just what I've been running away from.
I hope that doesn't happen in the sequel.
That's because you're an idiot.
Like, this scene does a great job of mixing character development and humor.
She thought, hey, I never tasted crystal meth, so she did just a little.
That kid would have been a great live-action Jimmy Neutron. We also get this Evil Dead joke and a nice fake-out too. Post-credit thought. I mean Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's crazy how 3 was so close to the remake. It would be crazy if we had an Evil Dead spoof that was really close to an actual Evil Dead movie. I do appreciate how simple the location is for the third act. It's not like we're going up and down and this and that like Scary Movie 2. What was the point of that? Just to do a Hannibal spoof with an actor from the Hannibal movies? I do like this callback to Airplane and how The Ring 2 basically copied this ending. Anyway, evil is defeated and we have this nice marriage scene. Ah, that's very subtle. Damn, we're hitting Hereditary level of visual storytelling. I love how even though this is a cliche from the era, they were able to put some dark twists in it. I see London, I see France, I see you try doing the necromancy dance. I just noticed they barely shared screen time in the movie. Hell, they barely shared screen time in the sequel too. I also love this friendlier take on the ending from 1 and 2. I just wish the credit music wasn't shit.
I got messed up with a killer who's truly insane. I will try not to refrain. Try to overcome my pain, cause one day it will get me my fame.
So there was 3, probably my favorite of the series. I do love Scary Movie 3 and it's being a quirky pop cultural Zaz spoof, instead of being a follow-up to Scary Movie 2. Think of it like Naked Gun 2000.
You are dealing with the concluding chapter of a trilogy.
Again, I do understand the other criticisms for Scary Movie 3 and how it's more or less a legacy reboot that ignores the Wayans movies. As a trilogy though, I do kind of appreciate how it ends on a high note. Like, Scary Movie 3 isn't the smartest, but it really is the funniest. It was my generation's introduction to movies like Airplane and Naked Gun. Anyway, for movies that copy Scary Movie 3, I do hope they copy the better aspects and none of the negatives. Well, I was wrong. I love showing people this poster and they were just like, is this a weird 4chan joke? And I'm like, no, it's a legit movie. Miss Castaway or Silly Movie 2 is the first spoof trying to rip off the success of the Scary Movie franchise, at least before post-production. I'm not going into a full serious analysis on this movie because I could barely do that for Scary Movie 2 and this is more like an intermission between the other 2 Scary movies. Watch Jormali for a better analysis.
This again also falls under the category of don't make fun of movies people don't like.
Yeah.
So it wasn't Seltzer or Friedberg that started this trend, it was Brian Stoller. Even though this wasn't marketed aggressively like Date Movie, it still has the same DNA as the movies I've already talked about.
Fuck this, man. I'm out of here.
I legit don't want to talk about Scream spoofs anymore, but fuck it, maybe I should watch the movies. Also, I highly recommend his Undershorts video. The humor's very Mad Magazine-ish, unlike this movie. The humor of this movie is mostly Zaz-inspired dialogue meets Scary Movie 2 style spoofs. Kinda like Scary Movie 3's humor, except it's not written by people who understand this type of comedy. You gotta be really smart to play someone really stupid. It's an art form. Zaz-inspired is probably generous because it just copies a lot of jokes from Airplane 2.
Thank you, miss. We'll lock off. Taxi, over.
But instead of joking about Reagan, they just crash like John McCain. I should just spill the plot. It starts as a simple Airplane bootleg, but then turns into a more complicated story about Noah's Ark, apes, and Michael Jackson? The movie highlights the biggest problem with spoof movies post-Scary Movie, because they just want to combine as many random movies as possible, unlike Scary Movie where it just combined 2 movies, or Kentucky Fried Movie where this was just an anthology. Is this a spoof on Lost 2 or am I reaching?
I'm used to spending time with the high rollers. These people here, way too low class for me.
This movie also has a problem where everyone is just a dick to each other and it's hard to connect with them. Even at scary movies' worst, you can tell they're still friends, even though they're selfish. While for a silly movie, no one really has chemistry with each other and it just falls flat.
And Julie, I want you to have this.
You might be asking yourself, hey wait, if this movie's made on Scary Movie 2, shouldn't you compare it to that? Kinda. Scary Movie 2 had a sketch format, while this and others are more anarchist comedies. Which, yeah, Scary Movie 2 can be seen like that, but every scene kinda ties into the main plot. House is haunted. Meanwhile, every scene here is just, we have Red Skeleton here, baby. See, I told you most movies would spoof Phantom Menace.
Oh, beehive!
Wait, this movie was made in 2004 and they made an Austin Powers joke. What the fuck? How outdated are these sketches? I feel like I'm watching a bad car dealership commercial.
Just so that the comedy was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't a joke that was 5 years old at that point.
I know I should be nicer to a literal shoestring budget movie, but look at this. Y'all are really doing anything on green screen for cash. I should talk about the big star of the movie, Michael Jackson. He was friends with the director and he only did a few quick scenes. I want to make a Men in Black joke, but fuck it, just watch my Good Boy video. He's in the movie as much as Coolio was in Shriek. Maybe less because MJ literally phoned in his lines. Rest in peace, Michael Jackson. Who else is in this fever dream? Mel Brooks? Wait, no, that's not Mel. That would've been dope.
Oh, oi. You do this to me every time. Maybe this game should be called Crazy Apes.
Anyway, I'm gonna say this is a slight exaggeration of what spoof movies would be like when they copy Scary Movie. An extreme movie, if you will. Oh wait, no, that's just a bootleg American Pie. Also, fun fact, there's a serious remake of this movie called Mr. Lonely, so, yeah.
Hey, Dexter, do you like Barney? Look at Barney. Woo! You like him, right? Yeah, he's gonna feel real good when I shove him up your ass.
Silly Movie was like the calm before the storm of what these bad spoof movies would be like. There was a shittier spoof movie that copied more from Scary Movie 3 without understanding what made 3 so good, and showed mainstream audiences that these movies shouldn't be smart or topical, just dumb. And that movie was called... wait, Scary Movie 4?
You wanna play a little game?
So the year is 2006. The more meaty, grungy horror movies have been popping up, like The Devil's Rejects, Hostel, and Dawn of the Dead. And some are remakes of older horror movies, so this could lead to a commentary about remaking older movies. Kind of like a prototype to Scream 4. And what does Scary Movie 4 do? Just ignore that and just remake itself. We got an M. Night movie, we got a Japanese movie, we got an Alien movie, most of which aren't scary. Hell, I think one's just a response to 9/11.
Things get parodied because someone or some organization's taking themselves far too seriously and someone needs to flick them on the face and say, stop being so serious.
So yeah, I'm not a big fan of Scary Movie 4. I feel like it went into the wrong direction that 3 was leaning into. Like, 3 is a good scary movie, but I feel like it could have reached the heights of Airplane. I do see Scary Movie 3 as a Naked Gun 2000 type of movie. While for Scary Movie 4, I feel like it's the 2000th Naked Gun movie with how old and repetitive these jokes are. How did this happen?
We don't do satire, and we have no point. We take scenes from serious movies and essentially reproduce them exactly, but the people in them are stupid.
Gotcha. Zucker had no fucking idea. Zucker also tried establishing his own rules into this movie, but it doesn't really vibe with what the Wayans established.
I was hoping they would bring me back. You know, I know none of the scary movies have really had the same male lead in them, so I didn't think I'd come back.
You know, they change writers and genres in between movies too. There are some good background jokes in here, and it's nice seeing Cindy and Brenda sharing more than 3 scenes together, but I laughed more when watching It's Pat than anything in this movie. Plus, I was originally gonna do a longer analysis on this movie, but I think it's best to just speed through it like Shriek. If this video does well, maybe I'll do the original script. It's pretty long.
Because one of the things we like to do is parody popular culture. We have the opportunity to take people from that popular culture and put them in the movie.
I guess I can delve more into the opening with one of the film's biggest issues, the fake celebrity cameos. Which is an extension of what I said for 3, but now we have people dressed up as fake celebrities to make a quick joke. We got fake Mike Tyson, we got fake Oprah, we got fake Dr. Phil. Oh shit, that's real. I thought that was a Mad TV actor for a moment.
Dr. Phil's my uncle and I like to hang with him.
The Simpsons can do this just fine because, like the original Scary Movie, it's taking a character and adding something original to it. Like McBain is supposed to be Arnold, but I see a bit of Stallone in there. Plus, the only counterfeit animation is Satoshi, where it's always an exaggeration of an actor. Well, this hits the uncanny valley. I feel like I'm watching an AI-generated Mad TV sketch.
What is that? It's the end.
It really diminishes when an actual celebrity cameo shows up, like James Earl Jones. Also, remember when the Jeffersons showed up for a 1-second cameo? I fucking do. Rest in peace, Abrams.
And I'm doing it with Shaq, who I have a great deal of respect for, and he's actually a good actor.
Well, you haven't seen Shaq act.
Lastly, we're gonna go a full hour before we do another Saw spoof, which sucks because I feel like the original Saw trilogy was gonna be like the Scream trilogy, where it had its own cliches and could be mocked. Are you telling me these transitions wouldn't be amazing jokes? It's literally like Naked Gun!
Reproduce them exactly, but the people in them are stupid. That's what we do.
I'm still wondering why they didn't just do a Final Destination and Saw spoof. Like, 3 was right there, and it could have been a great mashup. Yeah, at least the Saw room was reused for Saw 3, so that's something, right?
I love comedy. I like to laugh. Scary Movie 1, 2, and 3. It's fabulous.
So the movie opens up with Tom. No, not that Tom. New Tom. Old Tom is dead, just like half the cast of 3. Is Little Annie an orphan? I have no idea. Okay, maybe not Cody, but they do say he's in the military, and he's not there when the military shows up. So I'm gonna assume he ate a grenade.
I am not a Randy substitute. I'm my own character.
Named Ricky, who works at the video store.
It's an homage.
Tom is basically a fusion of Tom and George from the last movie, where he's both the goofball and the straight man to Cindy. He's also the love interest too, which I wouldn't mind if they shared more than one scene together. Cindy's a real little caretaker lady, if anyone cares.
Love her.
Anna Faris.
Yes, Anna Faris.
Wonderful.
Oh, it's that girl on
Sarah something.
No, it's not Sarah.
Amy
Amy
Poehler.
Poehler, that's
Boy,
right,
she was
right.
so
She's
good.
fantastic.
Right. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. That's not Amy Poehler at all.
It isn't?
No, it's
Oh,
it's Anna.
Anna.
Anna
Anna
Kana.
Faris. Oh,
Anna
here's the
Faris.
Anna Faris. Anna Faris. What
course.
happened to her?
I don't know.
Tom also has a son and daughter because the mom has the drug wits, and oh wait, no, they're divorced. And kind of like what George was hinting at the end of Scary Movie 3, Tom's whole deal is that he wants to be a good dad, and that's most of his personality, alongside some other dialogue.
You never cared about our children.
Hey, that's not true. I'm a great dad. Ever since the divorce, it's like my life has no purpose.
You know what the problem is? As soon as the going gets tough, you give up.
Ah, God, that's that's awful.
What a pisser.
I think the difference between this and the cliched writing of Airplane is that we did see the full picture of the relationship in Airplane and the funny reason why it failed. Meanwhile, in here, we don't really see anything, and we should really focus on the kids. The kids are important. It doesn't really help that he beats the shit out of his 6-year-old daughter. Like, with Cody, it was fine because he was kind of a creep and transphobic. Well, for this, it's just more mean-spirited. Another issue for the movie is that the timing's really off for the slapstick. Like, it has that Harold and Kumar style timing, and some scenes just go on for way too long, like this scene. This is like the most 2006 PSP movie I've ever watched. If they just shaved off 76 seconds, I'm pretty sure the movie would have landed better.
Even I'm getting bored at this point. Can we watch another movie?
You know what? This is the only channel where we get in here.
This doesn't feel like a movie made by the same team as Naked Gun. This feels more Spy Hard in nature, where instead of focusing on the crazy slapstick elements, it focuses more on drawn-out jokes, shitty green screen effects, a plot I still don't get, and just trying to be edgy for the sake of edgy.
We did.
Can't say Jack.
It's a historical.
Of course, it's a historical
It's
reference. You
they
can
say it
that.
in the movie.
Yes, I know. Look at.
He's quoting the movie.
Look, I have many Japanese friends.
Oh yes, of course.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Some of my best friends are Japanese. Oh boy.
The yellow man is among my most treasured.
The racism from 3 comes back and it's just awful. I think what's worse about the Grudge joke, besides being xenophobic, is that it's a very basic joke that has zero thought put into it. And it's supposed to be a payoff for the 20 minutes of Grudge spoofing, so yeah, it sucks. The Wayans movies were offensive and disgusting too, but they were full of things to discuss and commentary that you could defend.
Honda, Mitsubishi, Subaru.
Cheeseburger. Cheeseburger.
The movie continues with whitewashing black comedy and adding more hip-hop stars.
We're not parodying rappers, but it's great to have them in our movie. So to be able to have people like Chingy and Little John and Fabulous.
Who? Who the fuck is Young Bloods? Didn't I play Left 4 Dead with you when I was 8? The only time you had a relevant hip-hop artist that could act and you just cut him from the movie. Great, fantastic.
And it's so funny because at the audition, there mostly were Oprah lookalikes because the breakdown said we're looking for lookalikes.
This is basically just SNL at this point where it's just a Mad Lib of the week. Instead of being like In Living Color meets Scream or Kentucky Fried Signs. I saw this movie when I was 9 and I feel like this movie was made for elementary schoolers. Like, the humor and satire are very, very juvenile. Like, what the fuck are we making fun of here? Post-9/11ism? Or that Tom Cruise can be eccentric?
We had originally this philosophy that for parody, the best actors to cast were straight actors. That comic actors or people known for comedy might get in the way of the parody. And this would interfere with our design of how the parody would work. And really, with the Scary Movie franchise, we've discovered that that's really not a hard and fast rule.
Another reason why I think Scary Movie 3 succeeded was because of Simon Rex. Like, he was cut from the same cloth as most of the characters from Scary Movie 1 and 2, where he's half a spoof of an existing character and the other half is being his own character that mocks the white savior trope.
But the people in them are stupid.
While Tom is literally unironically just the white savior trope, and the movie really likes focusing on him. We could have had a Brenda and Cindy road trip, but no, we gotta have a bootleg Tom Cruise fighting Oprah.
Back off.
I guess we can delve into the other two characters that were downgraded in this. Okay, maybe it's 4. I'll start with Brenda. She's back and she's basically the Kenny of the movie, which I don't like. I always saw Cindy as the one that always died during the movies, and they kind of flanderized Brenda. Just let her be the Randy of the group instead of being a slut. She's just very good at picking that pop culture stuff.
Mr. Cosby, don't make me take that pill.
President Drebin's back and has fuck all to do with the movie. Not the Trinitron! Like, he's only in the movie for 10 minutes and interacts with no one from the main plot. I'm surprised they didn't do anything meta with him where he says, "Oh shit, again?" I swear some of his scenes feel like they should be playing in the credits of the last movie.
We had written more, shot more. There were things we'd written and not shot. The big scene in the Situation Room.
A lot of stuff we shot and didn't write.
This really feels like they had no idea what to do with a sequel, so they tried redoing everything, but worse. Hell, even the Wayans stunt doubles barely interact with the cast too. Wasn't MJ an alien in the last movie? What the fuck are we doing?
It's always a good feeling when you come back. You know, it makes you feel like you did the job you were supposed to do in the one before.
I don't understand why they didn't do another soft reboot if they changed everything from the last movie. Even though I don't love Scary Movie 2, I still think they took the right direction with the characters. Scary Movie 2 felt like an after party where you get a better understanding of the characters and you can mix them around. You put them in a new situation and have fun with it. Meanwhile, this just feels like a custody battle with the Three Stooges, where everything is just so separated and... Where the fuck is the gorilla? He isn't even a deleted scene! I was promised a gorilla! Where the fuck is it?
It was that. Yeah, there's a big joke in here that we cut out, and you'll see why.
Kill the moron!
See, he said it. Get it?
Yes.
I should mention the other random cameos in the Village section too, where we get Chris Elliott, Carmen Electra, and that guy from The Grudge in very brief cameos. I can kind of understand if this was a homage to the Wayans movies, but they literally just do poop jokes and bootleg Futurama lines.
We now have a majority of those who wish to say "I'm" instead of "I am."
I'm for that. I am against it.
Like, why is Chris Elliott a bootleg doofy? He even kills the Grudge guy and gets off scot-free because of shitty writing. You know what? I feel like Tom should have been played by David Sheridan.
Like the wind, baby.
Like, it would make sense for him to redeem himself a la Ray, and would make way more sense why he's in a saw trap.
Your final challenge. Watch Frank McCluskey.
Hell no, Jigsaw, your ass is tweaking. But we just get a, "but my family" scene and everything is solved. The movie just forgets about Cindy and the movie's over.
Hey, look, kids, Grandpa.
No, that's my new husband. He has a 5-year plan.
What is it? Don't die?
I wish they did the crazy Cindy ending for this movie, or give it a Blazing Saddle type ending. The deleted scenes I was worth mentioning, they tried doing like an epic movie type ending in this. We're so far removed from the original Scream right now, we have like talking ghosts and shit. That doesn't belong in a Scream movie, no.
This version of that kind of spoof takes still a lot of the style from Airplane, but it has a lot more pop culture, I think, references in it, and is a little more movie specific.
Apparently Anna didn't want to be a part of the movie, and that could explain the shitty ending, but why not just do a Simon Rex movie instead? Why is the big finale with this random guy nobody likes?
This is the final one. Any final thoughts on your day?
Well, just the silent prayer that, no.
I don't know if it's the last. I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm the last person to know.
So that was full. I would say the worst of the series. I don't like it, and I can see why most people were done after this.
Fuck it, we getting out of this joint.
I had a lot of thoughts on this movie, but I had to condense it into 15 minutes. Again, if it does well, I'll probably do the original script. Mr. President, they're making another scary movie. By the way, I named this part The Last Scream of the Night because I thought I would be done talking about Scream, but I was wrong. Hopefully they announce Anna Faris and Regina Hall for Scary Movie 6 after I post this.
Tempura, sushi, sashimi.
Also, I hope Scary Movie 6 doesn't have sequelitis like what 3 and 4 had. I just hope it's more Scream 2 and less dance flick. Maybe with a little bit of what made Scary Movie 3 good. Another reason for the decline could be because of the internet boom, where average people were able to spoof movies like Saw and do it quicker too. For the commentary track, they were very confident there would be a Scary Movie 5.
So what have we learned from this? Are we going to do this again?
Well, I think we are going to do it again, but we'll probably try and do it differently. It will not be any funnier.
So that'll come out soon, right? Right? Oh wait, what the fuck?
From what I know of the original script, it did fall in line with what Scary Movie did, with really following the story of the Screams. So this would be like the Scream 4.
You got to have Peters! Peters! Papa Cristo Peters! They got everything. I'm going to just give you a rundown of some of my favorites. They got Tzatziki. Hold on. Octopi tequila. Well, whatever. But it's good. Abolamano soup.